Hello everyone, it's Kathy Champion and you're back here in my craft room, Kathy's Random Acts of Stamping. I'm also an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator located in Gastonia, North Carolina. Thank you so much for stopping by today. We're going to do something really fun and I think you're going to love this. We're going to work with this Feels Like Home, and this stamp set is gorgeous. Look at that picture. You got some really cute sentiments. They're small. This gives you an entire doorway. This is all one stamp, and we are going to play with this. But this stamp set is not for purchase. It is only available for free. So if you make a $50 purchase on my online store, you can earn this stamp set for free. Also, this beautiful bedazzled paper, and this paper is gorgeous. Let me take out a sheet so you're not getting the glare from the cellophane, and we will look at this, and I just want to show you just how beautiful this paper is. And it's glitter, but none of this glitter comes off. So that's one thing that Stampin' Up! Does when they have glitter paper. Nobody wants all this glitter all over everything. And this definitely does the trick. And it's a nice substantial thickness. So when you put it on your card, it's going to make your card feel very rich. So we're going to play with that today as well. But the first thing I want to do is bring over a piece of our basic white cardstock. And I've already loaded up my stamp. And this is our stamp. And I've got this loaded on an E block, so you will need a bigger block, because as you can see, it is a good size. And I'm going to zoom y'all in just a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. So hopefully I won't get out of frame. I'm going to try really hard not to. When I have a stamp that's this size, I like to turn it over, and I'm using the Momento Tuxedo black ink because I'm going to color this with my alcohol markers. So I want to use a good ink that I know is not going to bleed, and Momento fits that bill. So we are gonna go ahead and ink that up really good. Put my ink back over, and then I'm going to try my best to get this nice and straight. So I'm going to go down, directly down, and I'm just going to put some nice pressure. Sometimes I just like to use the heel of my hand, just like that, and then lift it straight up. What a beautiful image. Is that not gorgeous? So I'm going to clean my stamp over here. Y'all know I'm a little OCD when it comes to my stamps. I cannot stand to leave a stamp dirty. And it's really not a bad habit to get into, because you really want to clean these stamps as soon as you use them to keep them from getting, you know, a little bit dirty. Now I'm going to bring my heat tool out because I want to dry this ink a little bit. So I'm going to put my heat tool on one, and I'm going to just dry this ink really quick. And the reason I'm doing this is I don't want it to bleed. And if it's not completely dry, it can bleed even though it's Momento ink. So for the time's sake of the video, we're going to do that just to get that ink set up really quick. Now in coloring this, I'm not going to color the entire image, but I'm going to show you how easy it is to get the color down on this that you want. So I'm going to grab my Crumb Cake, my light and dark Crumb Cake. I also want to grab my Calypso Coral. And I want to get a gray granite, or how about Smokey Slate? Yeah, Smokey Slate. And we're going to start off with these colors first. And the first thing I want to do is I want to use the light Crumb Cake. And I'm going to color with the bullet tip. And I'm not going to color this entire thing because I already have it colored off to the side. But I just want to show you how easy it is to color. This is going to look like it's a watercolor wash. So you don't have to be real careful how you do it. You just want to get some color down. So I'm going to do my door in the Crumb Cake, and I'm working with the light. And then I'm going to come across the front. And it doesn't matter if you color over top of something, you can always go back over it. So that's going to be the beginning of my coloring. We're also going to use a light Balmy Blue to put a little bit of glass in our windows. But I'm going to come back with this darker color, and I'm going to go around the edges of my door, just like that. And I'm just going back over top of what I already did. And you can see that just that little bit gives your door a little bit more depth, just by doing that. Now I got these little panels right here, so I'm going to color up on those, and then I'm going to go back in with the light. Nope, I'm not. I'm going to go in with the dark. I want these panels to be dark. Just like that. And I'm going to come back in with the lighter and just go up that center like that. Now I'm going to take my light Calypso Coral, and I want to go around this door frame in this pretty color. This looks like it might be a Florida house. If you've been to Florida, you know that a lot of the houses have corals and blues and greens, very light colors, because I don't know, it's Florida. It's just what you expect when you go to Florida, right? And I'm going to go up here, and you can see that I'm not really taking a lot of painstaking time on this. I'm just getting some color down. But what I want to show you, and I'm going to move past this in just a minute. I want to show you how easy it is to color your flowers. Just like that. And you can go back and do it darker. You could use your darker ink. But let me show you this basket of flowers. I'm going to come in with the light cinnamon cider. And I'm going to do this flower pot. And then I'm going to use the darker Crumb Cake. And I'm going to just kind of blend that together. And then for my flowers, I just want to show you, you don't have to worry about trying to color individual. I'm going to use my brush tip, and I'm just going to make some little dots for flowers. And then I'm going to come back with my dark Daffodil Delight, and I'm just going to put in some flowers. And then I'm going to come back with a green, and let's grab the Just Jade. And all I'm going to do now is just come in where there's no color, and our flower basket is done. Just that simple. And that's pretty much how I did this entire picture. And I just went in on these lines for the glass window. And I did come back with the Smokey Slate and my little door knocker right here, like that, just to give it a little definition. But this is how I colored this entire scene, and I'm going to show you what I have. After I finished, this is what I have. Oops. Isn't that pretty? So I think that turned out really, really nice. And I just took my scissors and I fussy cut around it. I didn't really have any rhyme or reason how I went in and out. I just kind of, you know, willy-nilly cut in and out like that. And what we're going to do now, I'm going to move my Stampin' Blends out of my way. I decided, since I was using, I used that Calypso Coral on that, I wanted to bring in my card base. And this is an 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. And we're going to use it as a landscape card. So it's going to go like this. And then that beautiful bedazzled paper, I cut a piece that's 4 by 5. And that's going on right there. So let's go ahead and grab our glue. And for this, I am going to use my regular liquid glue. And I'm going to put just a good amount of glue on this. I want to make sure that it holds. And this is something I like to do whenever I put a piece on a card. I just like to take my bone folder and go over top of it, just to make sure it adheres well. That looks really good. And I cut a piece of black that's 3.5 by 4.5. And we're going to center that on right there. Do I want to pop this one up? I don't think so. I think I'm going to leave this flat. And I'm going to center it up right in the middle. And this card will come together really quick once you do your coloring. And you just take and fussy cut this. Now I'm going to offset this over to the side like this, because I want to leave a place here for my sentiment. But I do want to pop this up, so I'm going to grab some dimensionals. And we might have to grab a new pack. I'm not sure that this is going to be enough. I don't know, we got quite a few on here. Maybe we will have enough. So I just want to get a good amount of adhesives on here. And that's going to go down right there. So let me grab my Take Your Pick tool. And I'm going to use this just to lift these backers off. And then we are going to put this down right about here and give it a press. Now I'm going to take, and I'd already done this, but I'm going to show y'all how I did this. This is our double oval punch. I love this punch. I'm going to cut out a piece of this glimmer paper or bedazzled paper. So I'm just going to punch out a piece of that, and then I'm going to grab my black, and I cut a strip of this, and I'm going to use it to go down and cut this piece right here. So now I have a place for a sentiment, and I also have a little backer for it. But what I wanted to do is I'm going to heat emboss. So I have my powder tool, I have my my little tweezers, and I'm going to prep this piece for my VersaMark ink, because when you heat emboss, you don't want anything to touch this except what you want to go on here. So I got that powdered really well, and then I'm going to bring out my VersaMark ink, and this is a watermark ink. A lot of people think it's just glue, but it's much different than just glue. And I am going to get my gold embossing powder. So I've got that sitting right there. And we need a stamp. And I think I'm going to do I'm always and forever here for you. And these sentiments are tiny, so you can probably get most any of them on that oval circle, or the oval. I love that little oval. So cute and so versatile. So I'm going to grab a stamp block, and I'm going to line this up nice and straight on my table. And then I'm going to pick that up, and I'm going to just kiss it into this ink. And then I'm going to bring this over and hopefully get that nice and centered. And hopefully that would work. We'll see. If it doesn't, I've got one already done, so we'll use it. But anyway, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pick this up with my tweezers, open up my embossing powder, and I'm going to take my gold and just put it right over top. Yeah, I picked up a little bit that I don't want, but that's no problem, because anytime you look at your image and you see that you've picked up a little bit of embossing powder that you didn't want, just take a simple paintbrush, a little small one, and just get that off. And then just make sure everything else looks good. And before we start with our tool, I'm going to close up my embossing powder. And now I'm going to preheat this just a little bit. It won't take long, but when you're heat embossing, you want to put it on 2. You want it on the hottest setting. So I'm going to just kind of feel it, but I think we're ready. So now I'm just going to go down close to this, and I want y'all to watch the magic. There it goes. I'm going to go back up underneath it. That helps straighten it back out from where it's warping. And we are done. I love heat embossing. I think it adds so much to your piece. And now we're going to pop this up on Dimensionals. So let me grab I'm going to actually use some of these little pieces that I've got. So I'm just going to take my paper snips and snip, snip, snip. And then we're going to use these on the back of this. And these work just as good, so don't ever throw away your pieces once you get all your dimensionals off, because you can cut these and use them as well. And I say, you know, use it up. Don't waste it, because it costs money. So you want to get as much out of your consumables as possible. Now I'm going to set this down right in the center of the bedazzled paper. And once I know that I'm happy with that, I come down just a little bit. Then I'm going to press that down and bring this over, and now this is ready to go right here on our card. And you know what? That's still not straight. So let's bring it up and do this one more time. The good thing about the Dimensionals, you can reposition them for a little bit. Not long. That's good. And now that's going to go straight down right there. Just like that. And a little bit of glue, and I'm going to drop it just enough so that I can see the black all the way around it. So now we have this card done, except putting a piece on the inside for our sentiment. So I am going to grab a piece of white, and of course I'm going to my scraps first. And I think this is going to work. Let me zoom y'all back out just a little bit. And I'm going to cut this to 4 by 5 1/4. So I think we got the 4. Yep. Now we're going to cut this down to 5 1/4. And we need to decide what we want to put on the inside. And I think for the inside, your friendship feels like home to me. I think that would be so cute on the inside. And we're going to stamp that just in black. Now I want to make sure I get this centered in here as best I can, but I'm not gonna stress over it. I got something on this paper. Let's see if we can sand it off. Good as new. Alright, so we want to center this in here about like that. Try to get it straight as you can. I'm going to grab another stamp block and I'm going to pick that up. I want to grab my Momento Tuxedo Black. And since this is a smaller stamp, I'm just going to take the stamp to the ink. And that looks perfect. Okay, we got those 2 stamps cleaned off. Now we're ready to go ahead and put this card together. And like I said, if you are in love with this, remember, a $50 purchase gets you that free bedazzled paper, and another $50 purchase will get you the stamp set. So you don't have to do it in separate orders. You can do it all in one order, so you only pay shipping once. So that is always a good thing. I had wrote a measurement back here, so please ignore that. Oh goodness, I'm going to go ahead and just use liquid glue to put this down with. And this is going to go in here just like this. And again, I'm going to use my bone folder just to adhere that glue down. And there is our bedazzled card, and I love it. I love this little opening, the doorway. So many things you could use this for. So I absolutely love it. I think it's a gorgeous stamp set. This paper is to die for, and I love this color combination. I hope that y'all do. I hope you love it. If you do, leave me a comment, and if you want any of the supplies that I used in making this card, you can go over to my website, and that will be linked below. Click on the show more, and the drop down will come up, and you can scroll down and you can see everything I used, the order numbers and the price, and so no surprises from you. I hope you enjoyed this, and as I always say in closing, let everything that you do and say bring glory to our Father in heaven. He is worthy. So until we craft again, may God bless and keep you. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell. That allows you to choose when you see notifications. God bless and keep you. I love you all so much. Until next time, bye-bye.